You just loaded up TM Talk, the one pod to learn it all. I'm Professor Tommy.
And I'm Professor Ashley. Whether you're new to the Pokémon TCG or a seasoned trainer, we're here to help you level up your play, master the rulings, and grow your community one episode at a time.
All right. Awesome. Thank you once again for joining us at TM Talk. This is a super special episode for us because we're going to be talking about all things Pokemon World Championship coming up this weekend, August 15th through the 17th. So super excited for this. This is a culmination of the season. We're about to see the best go at it for that coveted Pikachu trophy. So we're going to talk about a lot of different things about, especially on the TCG format, some decks to look out for. Some of the players that we're watching to see how they did this season and coming up to Worlds, and then also just kind of where can you check out Worlds and some tidbits about that. So super excited for this. Ashley, how was your week so far? And then also, how excited are you for World Championship?
My week has gone pretty good. It's been pretty busy. Today, I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. I went to work, drove out of town to go make a deal with some Pokemon cards. And then I came back, had to go take care of some cats. And now I'm here recording this podcast for you guys. So my week has been pretty busy, but it's been pretty fun. I'm super, super excited about the Pokemon World Championships. I am still hopefully everything goes like planned, and I'm planning on actually attending as a spectator. So I'm hoping that
cool.
that all goes well. So if it all goes well and I get to do it, then I'll be sharing some of my experiences with you guys whenever I come back from that.
Yeah, that'd be super awesome. I'm rooting for you. So I'm hoping everything, the stars align so you can make it out there.
Yes, me as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, my week has been pretty busy too. I finally finished up that chicken coop in my backyard. So, hey, finally finished it out. Moved our new chicks out there. Definitely been just more focused with our league. We've been doing a lot of free plays lately. We did have our challenge for not for August, for July that went through. That was pretty successful. We have a challenge coming up at the end of August, and then we're going to have our cup and our challenge in September along with our pre-release. And but this month, very special too. Just coming up tomorrow, we're going to be doing our World Championship tournament in celebration of the Pokemon World Championship. So handing out those awesome promo cards, the World Championship Pikachu promo cards. And this year, something really cool that Pokemon gave us are the winner stamped Pikachu promo cards. So I know there's a lot of players in our league that are looking to win those Pikachu cards.
Yeah, they look awesome. Really, really cool.
Yes, they do. They're really awesome. So really excited for that. Played in a challenge recently. I got top 4, so I was pretty hyped about that. For that, so I think that's pretty cool. And so now let's dive into Worlds, right? Like, so maybe for somebody who doesn't know what the Pokemon World Championship is or what they should expect, Ashley, can you give us like a little bit of rundown of like what do you think, like what's important about Worlds and what makes it so special?
So what makes it so special is you have to, in order to play in the World Championship, you actually have to qualify in your respected area. So TCG, VGC, Go, and even Unite teams, they actually play at the World Championships as well. So you have to qualify, and the numbers were different for each game area this year. Because last season it was like you had to qualify for TCG. It was like 600 points and you qualified. And this year they only took like the top 125 players. So, and a lot of them ended up having even more than 600 points. So
yeah,
it was a very fierce competition this year. So, and it's the best event to play in, the most premium of events, because you have to earn it. But there's going to be a lot of competition, and I'm excited to see how it's going to play out this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. We have a lot of players out there. Of course, a player that maybe a lot of people have heard, Brent Tonneson. He's also known as Mr. Worldwide because he does go all over the place competing at regionals and internationals all across the world. He finished first in points globally on the Pokemon TCG Masters division with over 2,000 points. Our USA's own Henry Chow was right behind him at second. And then Giovanni Sasso Silva from Brazil was third. If we look at our actual at our region, which is the United States, Henry Chow, of course, came in first. Then we had Caleb Rogerson coming in second right behind him. And then third is Raul Reddy. So a lot of these names are going to be people that we're going to be talking about here pretty soon. But yes, with Henry Chow getting 1,700 points in the season, definitely that to make that top 125, you had to get a little bit more than 600 this time around. But yeah. But it just showed, I think that this year was a little bit special this season because it was the first time we did the top 125. So I think a lot of big players and a lot of people in general just went out and came super competitive, try to go to as many regionals as they could, a lot of internationals, and try to see if they could place as much as possible to keep up with the point race. And then, of course, hey, you could swing for the fences, right? And you win a regionals or you top 4 international, you automatically get an invite. So there's a lot of players that we're talking about did that as well. They topped a regional, top 4 international, and punched their ticket to Worlds. So really excited. So before we talk about these individual players, Ashley, let's talk about maybe some decks that we're looking to see come out for Worlds. This is the first official tournament in major tournament in the black and white format. So what kind of decks, with those new cards that are coming out, what decks do you think are going to be coming out and showing up big here at Worlds?
So obviously one of the top decks that I expect to see is still Gardevoir. Even with all the Grimmsnarl and stuff, Gardevoir is still a pretty strong pick. And with the new card like the Jellicent EX, I feel like we're going to see some play with that. I don't think it's going to be like super played, but I think some Gardevoir players will actually play that. But there's still going to be a lot of Gardevoir players that still play the old style Gardevoir, because even though this is a new format, it's still a pretty strong deck, even without those couple cards. Another one that I'm expecting to see is different variants of the Dragapult EX deck.
Oh, yeah.
I expect to see a lot of Dragapult Dusknoir. Maybe some of the straight Pult deck, but I feel like the Dusknoir and Pult combination is going to be the top of the Dragapult decks. It is very strong, and I've seen a lot of success recently with that too. Just scrolling through my feed on Twitter, and I see Dragapult EX a lot.
Yeah. Another big one, another variant of that too, is that Dragapult Charizard. I think putting those two big powerhouses together, and they kind of complement each other's weaknesses. With Dragapult being able to do more damage and spread that damage out early game, and then having Charizard come out late game and just one-shotting anything it wants to, depending on the prize cards that your opponent has taken, is going to be pretty awesome. And then after that, below those have always been the top 2 decks right now for the past couple of months for sure. I think one that's underrated, though, that kind of got some new tools and kind of got a new Pokemon and support, is going to be Goldango EX. Goldango was strong for a little while, as a good solid deck. Climbed its way into the meta, was doing really well. A lot of major players were playing it at a lot of regionals and events. But now it has tools like Air Balloon, Tool Scraper, and then of course they had the brand new Genesect EX from Black and White, which its ability, which is Metallic Signal, allows for you to go search your deck for 2 evolution metal Pokemon and put them into your hand. So definitely a great card for Goldango. No need for TM Evo anymore when you have Genesect EX out there just doing it for you every single turn without having to take up an attack. So I think that's going to be really interesting because Goldango has limitless hit potential with its Make It Rain attack as well, doing 50 for each energy you discard from your hand. So that's a lot of damage going out there that Goldango can do. I'll be interested to see how well it does at Worlds, who's playing it, and how well it does out there. And another one close to my heart is Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. That's what I played. That's what I played at NAIC. It's a really strong deck. A lot of spread damage, and especially with it being the dark type, going against Gardevoir EX, getting that type advantage over Gardevoir is definitely a great call. It giving a lot of trouble to a lot of the other meta decks because of Frostlass, which puts out those damage counters at Pokemon Checkup. So in between each turns, you're getting 10 damage counters to all your Pokemon with abilities on it, and then being able to spread that Shadow Bullet with 180 damage to the active, 30 to the bench. So you're just slinging damage all over the place with that thing. It does lack explosive power like a lot of the top decks. But I think those skilled players that are playing that out there is going to be playing Marnie's Grimmsnarl and playing it for all it's worth. So I'll be looking for that one as well. Any other decks that you're looking to watch on this one, Ashley?
One more that I expect to see do really well, and it was actually one of the most played decks at NAIC, was Raging Bolt.
Oh yeah.
I expect to see a lot of Raging Bolt at Worlds, and I honestly expect it to do really well. I think that we'll have at least one in the top 8. I have a feeling that there's gonna be a Raging Bolt in top 8. But it
finds its way.
Yes, I've seen a lot of success with this deck though recently. Scrolling through my Twitter feed, and there's a lot of, even the locals here in our state, I've seen a lot of people top cups and stuff with it. So it's seen a lot of success recently. So I expect it to still be a really good deck, especially since a lot of the other ones, they take a little bit of time to set up, and Raging Bolt is one of those turbo decks where it goes fast. Once you get set up, it's over with. So
yeah, for sure.
I expect it to do really well.
Yeah, no, same here. I think, that turbo style deck of just being able to set up as fast as possible and do unlimited amounts of damage again is going to be pretty awesome to see. And we'll see who plays that at Worlds and how successful they are, and so talking about these decks, there's so many different play calls you can do. I know there's a lot of professional players, top competitive players who have been streaming their testing, streaming like their meta calls, or trying to figure out what decks are going to be playing coming up to Worlds. And so it's been interesting to see all this kind of different play styles they've been doing, all these different testing, all these different decks that are coming out. So it's going to be pretty awesome. But let's kind of move on from the decks themselves to those who are going to be piloting them, right? Let's look at these. We kind of compiled a list of players that me and Ashley think are going to be have some stories for this World's 2025 season. We cover everything from returning champions all the way down to some dark horses during this season that we saw people really kind of come into their own and bringing the best that we have ever seen them play. So let's jump into this with some of these world contenders. I think first and foremost, we have to talk about Fernando Cifuentes. He won Worlds last year, first place with Iron Thorns EX. Nobody saw that deck coming. Nobody saw this play, but yet he made his way all the way up to the finals table, took Worlds home, which was amazing. I know he was super excited about that. Felt really great. This year, though, in 2025, not surprisingly, we haven't seen much of Fernando. He's played in a couple regionals. He did the best regional he's done this year was second at Monterey, only coming in second to Mr. Worldwide himself, Brent Tonneson. But he hasn't really made any big plays, at least from what I saw from Limitless TCG, LAIC, EUIC, NAIC. And you know what? Honestly, winning first, you already got the World's invite in the bag. Why stress yourself out traveling to other countries and things like that when you can just kind of lock in your own locals and at home and try to do your thing there. So it'll be interesting to see what he brings this year to 2025. Will he play something meta? Will he play another out of the box deck like Iron Thorns this year? Because there is, the Milotic Walls decks that are out there. There's plenty of Pokemon out there that are looking to disrupt other decks playing out that time. So I'm excited to see what he's going to bring this year and how well he does at 2025. What about you, Ashley?
I'm excited to see how he does and what deck he also brings this year. It was super fun to watch the finals match last year. So it was great to see him win. And he was the first, if I remember right, he was the first big time winner out of his country too. And he got a cool article written on him and stuff. So I'm excited to see how he does this year, even though he hasn't played in a whole lot of regionals and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So next up on our list was another top 4 Worlds competitor in 2024, Jesse Parker. I know this is one of your favorites too, Ashley.
Yeah.
So Jesse Parker taking 3rd at Worlds in 2024, playing Miraidon EX and taking it all the way to 3rd place, which was phenomenal for him. I know that was a great victory in his point. He was close to the mountaintop, but I mean, you can't feel bad about taking top 3 at the biggest Worlds championship event to date. So once again, right, another top player at Worlds who bagged their invite early. Didn't really do much at LAIC or NAIC. He did play 66 at EUIC, but he has not top data regional this year. So I'll hand it off to you, Ashley. What do you think about Jesse, and what do you think he's going to bring to the table this year?
Ooh, I don't know. I've been seeing him kind of talk a little bit here on Twitter. So I'm excited to see if he's actually going to try and bring a different variant of Miraidon, or maybe like a Joltik box or something.
That
would be interesting to see. But I think it would be hilarious and really cool if he still brought a Miraidon. It may not be like the best meta call, but it would be cool.
Well, who knows, because Dynamotor is back. So Miraidon could come again, electric generating everybody out there, and accelerating those energies with Dynamotor and electric generator again. Who knows if he's going to be bringing that or something else. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if, like you said, the meta call, but once again, Miraidon is one of those decks that is a little turbo deck as well. You get those energies out there, go fast, hit big. And, hopefully Iron Hands EX everybody out there and get done fast as well. Maybe even get a lunch break. So yeah, it's interesting. So, I mean, we go from 2 players that we haven't seen a lot of since Worlds 2024 to now to somebody that we've seen a lot of recently, especially just recently at NAIC. The person who took it all, Isaiah Bradner. He came in 5th at Worlds in 2024, and then he went on a tear this season with LAIC coming in 17th, EUIC coming in 55th, once again winning NAIC, and then he placed 1st in Stockholm at a regional. So just hitting a lot of wickets this season, and doing a lot of, it looks like, quality over quantity, right, with these really solid finishes he's had. Gardy has been his main deck recently, and I believe him and his testing group kind of dialed it in, and has that perfect 60, and maybe, who knows, maybe he's trying to tinker that one out again this year for Worlds of 25 one more time. But I'm gonna be super interested to see how Isaiah does, and maybe climbing that hill, winning Worlds this year is just gonna be a stellar finish to a stellar season. What are your thoughts on Isaiah, Ashley?
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he does as well, especially after his first place finish at NAIC, because you could just tell, I know we both got to watch it in person. We got to watch it, and it was amazing to watch him actually win, because he's been playing for so long, and this was finally his first really, really big win at an international, and it was very much deserved. So I'm excited to see if he's still going to bring Gardy, if he's going to bring a different deck, and how he does. I'm really hoping that he does really well, and it would be awesome if he could win Worlds. because that would be literally the icing on a cake for his
Oh
season.
yeah. 100%. Yeah, I think that'd be amazing for him. Of course, for anybody, right, to win Worlds is going to be that icing on the cake for your season. But I know what you mean. Just like another top finish coming into Worlds right off of NAIC would be tremendous. So going from Isaiah, who's probably one of the favorites to come into Worlds and do really well, into two really well known players in the community right now. Some people call them the Michael Jordan and LeBron James of Pokemon TCG. And we're talking about Tord Redcliffe and Azul Garcia Griego. We'll start with Tord first. Tord, in last year at Worlds, came in at 10th place. And then he went to EUIC this season, got 22nd. And then NAIC, we saw a lot of talk about other players who played him and asked him the question of, hey, how prepared are you for NAIC? And he said to them, and I quote, "This is the most prepared I ever been for anything in my competitive life." And he came out in the top 3 of NAIC. He also got second place at Gdansk. So he punched his ticket to Worlds this season, and he has recently been playing Dragapult, straight Dragapult. That's what he played at NAIC. I think he has been, every time he comes out with a deck and does really well at international or regional, I think like his deck is the blueprint for what people kind of go out and try to play and try to test that. So not to say that he's pigeonholed in the Dragapult whatsoever, because he's an amazing deck builder. He always comes out with something that people have never seen, or some tech that nobody's ever looked at before until he starts playing it in his deck list. So I'll be really interested to see what Tord comes out with Worlds 2025 this year. He has played a lot of tournaments in Japan as well, which I think is a really smart move. If you can do it, go over to Japan and test out the format before anybody else can in a real competitive environment. So I think him and Raul Reddy have both done that, and I'm sure there's other players who have as well who are not originally from Japan, testing that out, and I think that's a really smart move. So really excited to see what Tord can pull out here. What are your thoughts on Tord, Ashley?
Yeah, I think it's a smart move for them because they have got to play some of these decks, and I feel like they're going to be a little bit more prepared in a sense, because they've been able to play in Japan's formats, and they've been able to play their style. And now to come back, they're going to be like at least 10% in front of everybody, because they've had that experience of being able to play these decks ahead of time. So they know they function. They've also been able to see Japan's decks, what they're playing over there. So all the Japan players, they're going to be able to kind of know what their quote unquote meta is before Worlds. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see.
For sure. Yeah. Really excited to see. I'm always excited to see Tord play. And I'm always hoping that on stream he gets paired up with this next player, Azul Garcia Griego. I think that'd just be the Clash of Titans if we get to see that on stream. And hopefully maybe we'll see that in Worlds this year. So Azul coming into Worlds last year. I know he did get his invite for Worlds last year. However, he did not place well. And I think that kind of lit a fire into him for this year, because I've heard him on his podcast. I've heard him on his stream channels that he has really kind of tried to be more focused on playing and getting there and having a good show up at Worlds for this year. So he did not play in LAIC this year, but he did play in EUIC. He got 232nd there. NAIC, he got 122. But he did lock in his Worlds invite this year with a first place finish in Merida at their regional. And a funny thing about Azul, I guess I don't want to say funny, but a really cool thing that he does this year is that his testing, he's been streaming it. So he has walked in with no fear, letting everybody know in the world, hey, this is what I've been testing. This is what I've been playing. So if you can beat me, come for it. So what I've seen him play recently is Ethan's Typhlosion, which I think is a really, really cool deck to play. It came out with Journey Together. Wasn't that strong because it didn't have a lot in regards of being able to hit the big guys, the Dragapults, the Charizards, the Grimmsnarls to that 320. But with Black and White getting Brave Bengal out there with it. There's really been a great combination to it to be able just to go ahead and hit those numbers up there. And also hitting Goldango for weakness because that's a deck that can go pretty quickly. But hey, if you can blow them up for half the damage, why not, right? And then also to being a one prize deck, putting that monkey wrench in your opponent's game plan pretty much, and have to be like, yeah, I do have to take 6. Like knock out 6 Pokemon and take those 6 prize cards. There's no 2/2/2 for me. So making that game last out too, I think would be pretty interesting. So I am curious to see if that's what Azul brings to Worlds, if he is, and how well he does with that, because that'd be pretty awesome to see. What are your thoughts on Azul, Ashley?
I'm kind of hoping he does play it because I want to see one of the big players play Ethan's Typhlosion, because I'm partial to Typhlosion. He's one of my favorite starters from the Johto era. But I haven't actually got to see him play, but I haven't been able to watch his streams or anything. But I know you have, so I'm assuming that he's been doing really well with it.
Yeah, he has. And of course, like, once people see Azul playing a deck, they copy on, and there's a lot of people on X right now saying that, hey, they won a cup or they won a challenge or they won their locals with Azul's Ethan's Typhlosion deck out there. So it seems to be getting some traction. Yeah, for sure. We'll just see if maybe people come a little bit more prepared for it. Maybe if they're expecting it, I wonder what kind of text they'll put in there, or just maybe change their game plan. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we've been talking about this next player for a little bit during this podcast. Mr. Worldwide. No, I'm not talking about Pitbull. I am talking about Brent Tonneson. He, like I said, goes all around the world, competes in everything that has to do with Pokemon TCG. Last year at 2024, he finished 93rd at Worlds. Then this year, LAIC got second place, did not go to EUIC, or did not have a placing in EUIC on Limitless TCG. And then NAIC, he got he had 124. He topped 4 regionals this year with 2 first place finishes in Monterey and Melbourne. He has been a Guardy enthusiast for a long time. We actually had the Brixty out there for quite a while, even into NAIC, which was Brent's 60 card deck list for Guardy into a lot of regionals going into NAIC. So until Isaiah kind of changed it up, did a little something different with Guardy, the Brixty was where everybody was trying to set the standard for the Guardy deck list. So I'm really excited to see what Brent brings in. I think it's going to be pretty awesome because he's been so solid this year, like he has been for a couple years now. To see him bring Guardy probably, and see what his twist is on it, and see how well he does. What about you, Ashley? Are you excited to see Brent play?
I'm excited to see him play, and I feel like he probably will bring Guardy. I mean, he's been playing it and he's been doing really, really well with it. And I mean, even though, let's see, in AIC he did 124. So, and that was with Marty's Grimmsnarl in the format. So I think he knows how to play around it, and he's able to see those outs. And sometimes whenever you play the same deck over and over and over again, you get really, really good at playing it. And even if you hit a bad matchup, you know how to play your outs to be able to win, or at least get very, very close to winning. So I think he's a good player in that sense, and I expect him to still do really well, even if he does bring Guardy.
Yeah, for sure. And somebody that Brent knows really well is somebody we're going to talk about next. We're going to talk about Raul Reddy, which I think Raul is one of the most underrated players in the competitive TCG format right now.
I agree.
Raul's name, I think for people who actually watch competitive Pokemon, know who Raul is, look to him, sees him with his testing group. I mean, the super group, if you want to say that, with Isaiah Bradner, Henry Chow, Andrew Hedrick, all like you name them, they're in that group, and that group is pretty huge. But Raul is just so solid. He's so consistent with his plays. Raul last year went to Worlds 2024, came out 9th. I mean, that just says it right there. Like, he came in 9th place 2024, LAIC this year 85th, EUIC 28th, NAIC 26th. He had 3 top 8 regionals. His best is second at Dortmund. So I mean, and he is one of those guys.
He's due for a win.
Yeah, for sure. He's due for a win, I think. And he's really one of the ones I'm gonna be watching for on the stream, seeing his matches and rooting him on. And also, like, kind of, he's been playing what's, like, I think to him, what's a good meta call, where there's a lot of players who just kind of stick with one deck and kind of, march on. Raul definitely knows how to play Guardy. He has a lot of teammates that play Guardy and a lot of testers he can play Guardy with and against. But it's a big toss up about what Raul may bring to Worlds. What are your thoughts on Raul, Ashley?
Raul is actually one of my top favorite players, and I've been hoping for a long time that he gets a win. And so I really, really do hope that he does well. I'm curious to see what he is going to bring. I haven't seen him really say much recently about any specific deck. So I think it's going to be kind of one of those where it's just going to be a surprise what he brings. And I hope he does really well with it.
Yeah, I do too. I'm rooting you on, Raul. You are our sponsored player for this week, I think, for Worlds. So go out there and give him all you got, man. So another player that we're going to talk about, once, like I said, part of this super group that they've been talking about, has come back into Pokemon, and has come back in a strong way. Henry Chow. He did great last year, coming back into, I think that was his first year back competitively in 2024, and then came in 2025 and showed why it looks like he's never left, because he came to LAIC, got 20th, and then went to NAIC, got 31st, and this year he got 4 top 8 regionals with 3 first place finishes. I think there's a lot of
all with Guardy.
Yeah, all with Guardy. I mean, and this guy, there are no surprises with Henry Chow. When you sit across the table from him, if you're a betting person, you have a really, really great chance. If you say, yeah, I think he's gonna be playing Guardy. This guy has come out top 3 regionals, like first place finish in regionals, and they were almost back to back, right? I think he got second place as well at a regional against Michael Davidson, who's also a part of his testing group. So Michael Davidson got first, he got second. So such a strong player, knows Guardy really well. He came in the beginning of the season with like that turbo Guardy deck that people were trying to play. Then he revamped it again with Enzorark in Guardy, and winning a regional there against Andrew Hedrick with it. I think we all remember the finals of that regional with the Badoo Pass of like 18,000 turns of just Badoo Pass, right? But I think Henry is like a very solid player. If you didn't know that he stopped playing for almost 10 years, like you wouldn't know it, because this guy has done so well, has not missed a beat. I think has caught on really well. And one of the players who is really adamant about playing on live and playing on the ladder, and getting a lot of your practice in from there, getting that quality practice as well. So he says, if you can fight your way up to Arceus, and really battle at that level and get up to 1700 ELO, you can definitely do really well at regionals, and he has proved it. So Ashley, what are your thoughts on Henry?
He is such an amazing player, and it's crazy too, because like, even though he's a really big player and he's had so many top finishes, there are still people that really don't know his name. I never remember at NAIC, one of my opponents, he was telling me that he actually faced Henry Chow at NAIC, and he had no idea who he was. But all of the people around him, Henry came and sat down, and everybody got like all quiet and stuff. And he was like, "Oh, I guess you're pretty big." And Henry was just kind of joking around with him. And then my opponent, he said, "Well, hopefully at least you're not playing Guardy." And then Henry just kind of chuckled, and I thought that was great, because I was like, he's playing against like the best Guardy player in the format right now. So he's a really big player, but there are still people that don't know his name.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a great story to tell there. I mean, definitely one when you sit across from Henry Chow and say, "Hey, I hope you're not playing Guardy." So that's awesome. But yeah, I think this Worlds is really where he's going to put his name on the map, and there's going to be no denying that Henry Chow is one of those top competitors that we have in TCG this year. And so moving on to somebody who is actually the Henry Chow maybe of last year, a player who like was consistently at the top of regionals, and everyone was looking for him to do really well at Worlds. It was Andrew Hendrick. Andrew Hendrick went to Worlds in 2024, got 24th place. This year, LAIC did not have anything on Limitless. EUIC, he got 114th place. NAIC, he came back with 21st, and he topped 8-2 regionals this year. He got a first in Vancouver, punching his ticket to Worlds. And a lot of his recent success and has been Dragapult Dusknoir that we've talked about earlier. So and really I watched Andrew last year come out of nowhere, especially at the Indianapolis regionals, and he was playing Dialga V-Star. I think that really showed what kind of an innovator he was, understanding the meta, and at that time that it was Charizard EX was really the main deck that everybody was playing, and he decided to go a completely different way and brought it all the way to the finals of that regional. So it was really impressive to see that he has that ability to make those meta calls and understand what might be the best play at that moment. Of course, we can't forget last year he won NAIC as well. And like that amazing coin flip for the win play.
Yep, the coin flip one. Oh my gosh, that was amazing to watch.
Yeah, so Andrew has given us a lot of great plays on stream. We've talked about this season with him and Henry Chow. He's always given us some memorable matches on stream. So I'm really looking forward to watching Andrew this year, seeing what comes out of Worlds 25 and what other great highlight reels he comes up with. What do you think, Ashley?
I'm excited to see him play as well. Man, that coin flip last year was great.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have to he doesn't have to worry about that this year though, if he plays the Dragapult Dusknoir. So if he wins, it's straight because he just goes for it.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be pretty awesome to see how he does this year at Worlds. So looking forward to that. And now let's talk about somebody who was at the center of a lot of controversy at last year's Worlds. Now I'm talking about Ian Robb. Ian Robb was on a tear, running his way up through the final top 8 tables. He actually won his top 8 match. However, due to a lewd gesture, he ended up getting disqualified. And because of that, he finished 7th overall in 2024. So there's a lot of talk, especially in the Pokemon community, about what would have happened if Ian Robb would have not been disqualified. How would that matchup have looked? Because his opponent was the actual winner, Fernando Cifuentes. So that would have changed the whole aspect of the tournament, with him and Jesse Parker actually meeting up at top 4. And so who would have known what had happened there? There's arguments for both cases, but I believe from that, Ian has matured quite a bit, and it's came into 2025 looking to maybe right the wrongs of 24. As I look at LAIC, EUIC, I didn't see any finishes for him on the Limitless page, but he did come in 99th at NAIC, and he topped 8-2 regionals this year with his best place finish in Milwaukee at 6 with Eevee Box, which is pretty interesting to me because it's a deck that we don't really hear a lot about, but I think it has a lot of potential because it does have a very high ceiling. I think a lot of people aren't playing it because of the high strategic factor to it. So I'll be interested to see if he comes out with that deck one more time, or if he makes another interesting meta call that will help him out in Worlds. So Ashley, what are your thoughts on Ian and how you think he's going to do this year?
And that Eevee Box is not one that we've actually touched on at all, pretty much. It is a very, very good deck, and I could see him bringing that for people not really expecting it. I mean, I played against one at NAIC, and the player that I played, they were so fast. So, like, they had their deck down to a T. So I do agree that I think it has a very high ceiling where it is really good. But you have to know exactly when to use this Pokemon and when to use that. It's just like any other deck, but it definitely has some interesting matchups.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see if he actually brings that. And so everybody's kind of like not expecting him to bring that, or if he decides to play something like Gardevoir or Dragapult or Raging Bull or something. So, and I think he has a really good chance of doing really well too, because he has been playing other TCGs as well. He doesn't play just Pokemon. I've seen him play Magic, and yeah, he's been playing some other TCGs.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be interested to see how those skills from the other TCGs carry over to Pokemon and see how well he does.
For sure, yeah. So I think those top 10 names that we just talked about are probably one of those big players to watch. But we do have a couple players that we think that you should keep an eye on, right? Maybe not as well known as those top 10, but definitely players who have put on great showings this year in the 2025 season, and we think can do really well at Worlds, and might be one of those names that you see at those top 8 tables. We'll start off here with Calvin Connor. Calvin Connor was at Worlds in 2024, finished 89th, which is nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, that is awesome to be finishing top 100 at Worlds, period. And then he came in LAIC, got 75th, EUIC this year, 140, NAIC 38th. And his one regional that I saw that was in the top 8 was his first place finish at Toronto. So definitely that was a memorable streaming matchup as well, where he was playing Regidrago and got the coin flip, I think, with Executor EX and slammed down and got the win off that game 3. So that was pretty exciting to see. Calvin get that win, punch his ticket to Worlds, and he's a great, solid player. Really very knowledgeable in Gardevoir. So I'm wondering if he's going to be reaching for Old Faithful, and considered one of the best decks in format is Gardevoir. If he's going to bring that to Worlds, and to really see how well he does, because he has been playing Dragapult as of late as well as most recent tournaments. So definitely someone to look at. Definitely somebody who is very solid in their play, and can do really well and run and make his run up to the finals here at Worlds. What are your thoughts, Ashley?
I could definitely see him bringing Dragapult to Worlds and doing really well with that. He is a player that is well known, but he may not be as well known as the other ones. But he is still a very, very good player, and I'm excited to see how he does as well. Like the whole World's, like, I'm excited to see how everybody does.
Yeah,
because it's always
for sure.
It's one of the best events that Pokemon puts on, and one of the best events with the best of the best.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and especially this year too, because you had to be top 125 at from America to get into, or I should say, from the North America region, region, but to be top 125 to make your way to Worlds, and then everybody else had their top, I believe, 100 and less. So these are really the best of the best this year at Worlds that we're going to see competing for that Great Pikachu trophy. So, and I think somebody who showed that they are one of the best this year, Natalie Miller from Australia. Once again, if you pay attention to the competitive community, you know who Natalie Miller is, but perhaps you don't. But if you are on TCG Player and you read a TCG article about Pokemon, she probably wrote it. If you looked at Pokemon.com and looked at a lot of the different deck profiles, she may have written one of those articles for you too. This year, she was at EUIC. She finished second, which was amazing for her play. It was Dragapult. I believe it was a Dragapult Dusknoir that she went there with, got second with at EUIC. And then she also top 6th place at Melbourne Regionals as well. She is another really knowledgeable Guardy player, who we've seen play Guardy in the past. Really solid gameplay and game style. Knows what she's talking about when it comes to TCG. And I think really one of those dark horses, ones to watch that maybe for most people will come out of nowhere for. What do you think, Ashley?
I agree. She's a really good player, and I mean, I'm always rooting for all the women in TCG to win, but She is a very, I mean, her 2024-2025 season, everything that's on her Limitless page is 9th, 2nd, 14th, 6th. So she's pretty consistent in her placings too, which is amazing. Reggie Dragapult, Dragapult Dusknoir, and Gardevoir. So I could see her bringing either Gardevoir or Dragapult and doing really well with it.
Yeah, for sure. And so let's talk about another woman in the competitive scene that and being a dad of two girls who play as well. This is one of their favorite. This person right here is one of their favorites, and that's Piper Lapine. Always doing really well. Always one of those players that are like in the top 64th place at anything she competes at. This year at NEIC, she got 6th place with Marnie's Grimmsnarl. And then her top placement this year, it was 5th place at Portland. But once again, I think we're seeing a trend here, right? She is Piper. If you look at her Limitless page, you'll see a lot of Guardy on that page. And then she just came into NAIC with Grimmsnarl. So, and she's played Dragapult, and she's done well with Dragapult as well. So another great player who knows how to read the meta, knows what's going on with these top decks, and can really, once again, make her run. And I think if she does, I'm going to hear it nonstop from my kids, and I'm going to be rooting with them for Piper to keep going all the way up. So what are your thoughts on Piper, Ashley?
Piper is an amazing player, and I'm really excited to watch her and see how she does at this Worlds, because some of you may not know if you haven't been into the competitive scene in very long, but a couple seasons ago, when you top four a regional, you didn't get your automatic invites. Yeah. So 2 seasons ago, Piper won 2 regionals, and she still didn't get Worlds that season, if I remember correctly, even with those top finishes. So to see her actually be able to play in Worlds this year is amazing. I'm excited to see. I know she got to play in Worlds last year, I believe.
Yeah, she did.
But for her to actually still be doing really well is a great achievement for any player.
Yeah, for sure. And just, yeah, super excited for her to come out and show everybody why she deserves to be at Worlds, and why she's always one of those consistent players, always at the top of the leaderboards and the top of a lot of those regionals that she plays at. So super awesome. I know we've been talking about all these players that people should be watching, but let's talk about, how do you watch, right? So for those who maybe never have seen Worlds before or don't know about the streaming system that Pokemon does, because don't try to tune into ESPN and think you're gonna watch it there. We're not on ESPN Ocho just yet, but there are a couple ways you can watch it. It is getting streamed both on Twitch and YouTube. So that Twitch coverage is definitely going to be in this Worlds as well, is going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So August 15th, 16th, and 17th. August 17th is going to be the championship finals for all divisions, for all games. We're talking Go, VG, TCG, and Unite. So you can watch it on Twitch, and a great advantage to watch it on Twitch is that you can get those awesome drops that they do, where you can link your Pokemon account to your Twitch account, and you can get some cool game swag for TCG Live. If you're watching the TCG, if you're watching the VG, you can get a lot of cool different drops. I think they've done like other competitors' Pokemons at one time, and just other things you can get in the game. I think they've done it for Go as well. So anything that's digital out there, you can definitely get some drops for watching it. That's at twitch.tv, Pokemon TCG. You can watch the streams there and catch all the excitement there. And what's another way that people can watch, Ashley?
Another way is just watching through their YouTube, just the Pokemon YouTube channel. But something, I don't know if they've done this for past Worlds, I can't remember, but I do know that they're going to actually have a lot of co-streamers this year, and you can find the co-streamers on the World Championship website. So you can go check that out and see if there's any of like your favorite YouTubers that are actually going to be there and co-streaming as well. And to add on top of what you said about the Twitch drops, I looked it up because I remembered. So for the TCG Live, you can get a Worlds themed deck box, card sleeves, and coin, as well as 2,000 trade credits and 2,000 trainer points to add to your live collection. So they're going to be doing that, and they're also going to be giving away some illustration rare cards featuring Dino, Svelius, and the special illustration rare from Hydreigon EX. I always forget how to say his name. So they're going to have some really cool Twitch drops for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so if you had the chance and if you don't have a Twitch account, create one and go watch it so you can get these drops. Add those awesome deck accessories to your deck TCG Live and get some of these special illustration rares that they're dropping there as well. And then Ashley, what about those people who are attending in person? Because you did win the spectator lottery, right? So you do have a spectator ticket. And I know you've had, so you were kind of prepping to see if you can go or not, but what kind of things should people keep in mind if they're going to attend in person?
So one thing I found out, and I actually found this out because Raul Reddy shared this, but anybody that's actually attending Worlds as a spectator or a competitor, you can actually download the Pokemon Events app. They came up with the app just for Worlds, and you can add things to your schedule. You can look at all the artist signings, when certain events are, and it's actually a really cool app that they put together, and I think it'll be really nice to watch or to see, because there's so much going on at Worlds, and you're not gonna want to look up at the website every single time you're like, oh, what should I do? So if you're actually going to attend, I definitely recommend downloading that, and you just put in your information and it should pop up. Mine popped up super easy, and I've already added certain things to my schedule, and it has it by days, so it'll be super easy to keep track of what you're planning on doing.
Awesome. No, that sounds great. I think Pokemon's kind of moving that way for a lot of these events, giving you kind of updates and hopefully updating these apps to help you kind of figure that out. Just talking about Worlds is getting me excited. I'm ready to watch. I can't wait to see all the action and really see who comes out with it all. So any parting words on Worlds, Ashley? Anything that you want to share, or anything we forgot to mention?
Something I recommend everybody do is check out the Worlds soundtrack that they came out with this year for Pokemon. Those songs are amazing, and it will definitely, like, if you're not hyped up for Worlds now, you listen to that and you're definitely going to be hyped up for Worlds. Whether you're just going to be if you're going to be a competitor or a spectator or just somebody sitting at home watching it, it's going to hype you up.
All right, so you heard it here from Ashley. So once you guys get done listening to this episode, go find the World soundtrack for Pokemon and get super hyped. Listen to that right before you start tuning into the stream, and be ready for all the action and and all the great matches and memorable matchups that you're going to see there. So super excited for this one. Can't wait. And hey, let us know what you're excited for Worlds by reaching out to us at tmtalkpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what matchups you're looking for. Maybe if there's a player that we didn't talk about that you're really hyped to see, or after you watch Worlds, give us some pointers or some comments about what you thought was great. Maybe if you saw a ruling that you understand and you wanted to maybe kind of dive deeper into that, reach out to us and let us know, and we'll definitely look into that as well. We definitely want to hear your thoughts on what you guys are looking forward to for this 2025 Worlds. So I think we covered everything, Ashley.
I think we did too.
All right. Well, hey, thanks so much for listening, and enjoy this Pokemon 2025 Worlds Championship.
Let's go.
You just used TM Talk. I hope it was super effective for you. Whether you're building a deck or building a league, remember, you've got this and we've got your back.
If today's episode boosted your stats, share it with your party. And until next time, keep training, keep teaching, and keep passing that knowledge on.